In the COVID crisis, governments have struggled to find the right national policies and to coordinate an effective global response against the virus. For sure, they have to do better when it comes to confronting the biggest challenges of the age for humanity: rising temperatures and a fracturing world economy. I believe that climate change will bring not only evident natural disasters such as storms, droughts, floods, and wildfires, but also underlying effects like massive migration waves, global economic issues, and conflict between countries for natural resources. The 21st century and climate change have created a new concept in migration: environmental migration or climate refugees. These people are forced to leave their home due to sudden or long-term effects in their local environment. They can move within their country, commonly to cities, or they can go to another country. This last situation relates to globalization. Not every country is prepared to receive and help refugees because of the limited resources they may have. Thomas Malthus predicted this and stated that living standards will decrease, with eventually triggering of a population die-off. Here is where governments have two options. One of them is increasing border security, closing their boundaries, defending their own resources, but this action might be seen as a nationalist measure. As Yuval Noah Harari said, leaders might be tempted to prioritize their national interests. Another option for countries will be to adopt a cooperative attitude, trying to coordinate with the region how they can support climate refugees looking for survival. Globalization may be at risk, so it's in this moment when countries need to rethink what they are doing to confront all the challenges that climate change will bring. Next, the pandemic has shown the flaws of our global economic system, and if we don't adapt or change our way of doing international business, climate change will hit us even harder. Countries have lived through 2020 in a difficult economic situation, where their GDPs have slowed down, people were unemployed, and industries were shut down. Global warming builds a similar scenario. In fact, they report The Economics of Climate Change, Not Action, Not an Option by Swiss Re Institute states that the global economy could be 10% smaller if the net zero emissions by 2050 are not met. Once again, countries will have to take the decision to deliver stimulus bill to help unemployed people, yet creating inflation in its economy, or governments do nothing about it, producing a huge social crisis like the one Lebanon is living in. Either way, the GDPs of the countries will slow down, generating difficulties for international business and eliminating the competitive advantages of each country. It is likely that governments will look for a plan to support its citizens and economy in a local way. Additionally, climate change will create extra and larger conflict between the countries competing for the remaining natural resources. The goods and services countries trade today will be totally different to the ones they will trade in the following 10 years. Cars, petroleum, and technologies are the most traded goods nowadays. Fresh water might be or not on the list with the other goods, but certainly will be one of the most precious assets and will generate a great capacity to negotiate. Fresh water is 2.5% of the total volumes of the world's water. Considering that 70% is in the form of ice, it means that 0.75% is fresh water available for consumption. According to the United Nations, 2.3 billion people live in water-stressed countries, of which 733 million live in high and critically water-stressed countries. Countries are realizing the urgent need of having water for their interest, and that's why China had already done something about it, reducing up to 50% of the Mekong's river flow, affecting several countries of Southeast Asia. This type of action will increase in the following years, creating conflict between countries in commercial activities and political relations. I believe that the whole world needs to do a better job addressing climate change and the consequences this phenomenon will bring. Consumers must change their buying behaviors, industries must eliminate their carbon emissions, and governments need to do the right national policies. We must be prepared and try to solve this problem to avoid chaos and conflicts in our societies.